Maybe I need a little bit of light. Maybe I need some more light because looking kind of dim in this picture. Might need to turn on some more light. Maybe I should think I might need to turn on some light. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe I should move this candle over here. Put that right there. Maybe I should turn this light on over here. Just waiting for more people to come into the room. Just trying to wait for some more people to come into the room. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Or maybe I should turn on this light over here. Let me turn this light on over here. Yeah, let me turn that on. Yeah, that way we got more light in here. Get some more light in here. Because I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute here, it's dark. It's kind of dark in here. We're gonna wait a couple minutes, man. Get some more people in the room before I start. I like to get a few more people in the room before we get it popping. Okay. So that's what we'll do. I'm gonna give it maybe another minute. I'm gonna give it another minute, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll go ahead and start. Okay. All right. Oh, boy. Yeah, let's give it a couple more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get going here. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets his. What's happening, chocolate people? We're going to wait for a few more people to come in the room. We're going to give it a couple more minutes, y'all. Okay? Give me 1 minute. You tuned into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Was crack-a-lacking. Before we get started here, if you haven't got my book, get my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. If you buy this book from Amazon.com, if it don't look like this, it ain't my book. Okay? if it don't look like this, player, it ain't my book. This is my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get this book. Talks about white supremacy in America internationally. Talks about economics. Talks about Black empowerment. What you can do about dealing with white supremacy and racism in the workplace. Also deals with dating. Now, I'm working on my second book entitled The Dating Bible. And hopefully I'll have that done by the end of the year. And what I'll do is I'm going to go out on the road and promote both books. It was suggested that I put more than one project out here so people could have something to compare the first project to the next project. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it was suggested to me, somebody that's in the publishing game, they were like, man, you should wait till you put your second book out. Okay. I said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, man. You digs? Anyway, you go to my website, asktheiceman.com, asktheiceman.com. Get information on life coaching, business consulting. We do it all. So I'm a life coach and I'm also a business consultant. If you have an existing business that's not doing very well and you need to hire somebody to come in and do the evidence-based research and practice to find out what's wrong with your business and what you can do to fix it, I'd be happy to help you. So go to asktheiceman.com and go to About the Iceman page. Also, if you need life coaching, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through a bad breakup, if you're in a bad relationship and you don't know what to do, I don't care whether you're a man or a woman, contact me. And, there's, you know what to do. Obviously, you're going to have to pay first. I've never had to, I don't perform services unless you pay first. So a little bit different with business plans and stuff like that for the business consulting. But as far as life coaching, individual services, personal services, yeah, you're going to have to pay first. I don't play that. Okay. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to, you're going to have to put them dollars up first. Okay. Get that body count up. You digs? Anyway, we got a lot of white supremacists out here. And unfortunately, we all deal with them at one time or another. And I'm at the athletic club and I go to the one that's closest to my house that has the best services that I can use. And for some, there's a lot of conservatives around where I live at. And for some reason, you go into the athletic club and they got almost all the TVs got Fox News on. And I don't, look, man, let me tell you something. I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, but damn it, when I go to in public, I don't want to see Fox News all over the damn TVs. Okay? I can see if you got one TV dedicated to Fox News, but you ain't gonna have two or three of them. And so I get ready to get on the treadmill after I get through throwing up that iron, and I go over here. I'm on the treadmill, and I'm like, man, I ain't trying to look at no Fox News, man. And so I go. The remote controls are at the front desk. So we can go get the remotes and change the channel. And I go over here to get the remote and I change the channel. I was trying to find something to watch. And this white supremacist, old, wrinkled up, ancient, prehistoric Neanderthal, she was like, hey, why don't you pick a channel? Why don't you? Now, normally, some F-bombs would have flew out my mouth. But since, I'm a middle-aged man now, and I know I need to show a little bit more decorum, I just turned around and gave her that look. I turned around like this, and I looked at her as if, let's just say the look on my face had F-bomb written all over it, because I turned around and looked at her and I just kept, because I kept going down the channels, because this is DirecTV they have on the system, and I don't know what channels that they have on there, because I got cable at home. And so I'm going down, I'm trying to find some sports channels and I couldn't find them. And so, she's back there running her damn mouth. So obviously I ignored her. And some dude that's he's on one of these like stair stepper machines that's in front of me, but he's to the side, to my right. And he says something, he tried to say something slick. I don't know if that's his woman or whatever the case may be, but he called himself gonna say something to me, right? And I guess they thought I was one of them O.J. Simpson sellout niggas who care about what white people think. And, you know, I had to show him I wasn't one of them dudes. And so I turned and looked at him and I said, hey, man, you know, because, you know, let me just explain the situation. Anyway, so this old broken down, decrepit, old white dude started to try to run his mouth. I said, hey, man, look at here. I'm trying to find something decent to watch. I said, he was talking about, well, I was looking at Fox News. I said, how are you watching Fox News when the TV's up above your head? Okay? With his broken down ass. I ain't gonna be sitting up here. Every TV in here got Fox News on it. But what it was, people, what it was is, see, because I'm not gonna say this is just because there ain't a whole lot of black people up here where I am, because that ain't necessarily the case. Because I've lived in cities that got a whole lot of black folks, and black folks let white people, Caucasian people, talk to them like that. I've seen white collar and blue collar brothers walk around the gym, or walking around acting like they hard when they around nothing but black people, and then as soon as they get around some white supremacists, some Caucasians, then all of a sudden they wanna they like, Yaza, sir. They get the buck dancing and cooning. Yaza, sir. Want me to do something for you, sir? Want me to lay my coat down over that muddy water so you can walk across it? That's one of the reasons I don't deal with too many black people, because there's a lot of coons out here. And I turned and looked at that fool and I said, hey, man, you ain't the only one in here. Fox News is on that TV. If you want to watch Fox News, take your monkey ass over there and watch Fox News. Because I couldn't find what I was looking for. I was looking for this Padres game. I was looking for a baseball game that was on, and I couldn't find it. So I just said, okay, I'll turn to CNBC and do a little research while I'm doing my walking. Because I watch CNBC at home sometime when ain't nothing on TV, just to see what's popping business-wise and what's going on with stock, with some of the stocks I watch. Black people, we got to start standing up for ourselves. Look, I got a little ghetto in me. And normally, you know, see that little raggedy, them two little raggedy ass old crackers. See, you have to understand about some of these folks, man. Some of these folks, so they done been pushing black folks around their whole lives that, you know, they think every black person is going to coon and buck dance and bojangle when they show up. And I ain't one of them dudes, okay? And, you know, like I said, and a lot of them, I noticed, well, a lot of them, when they trying to talk shit to you, you know, and because this guy starts smiling. I guess he thought because he was smiling, I didn't think he was being an asshole. So you got to watch these white supremacist people, because they'll be smiling in your face, and as soon as you turn around, they'll shoot your ass or stab you in the back, literally. Okay? Don't think they won't kill your ass. Don't think they won't, because they will. And one thing I'm going to say before we get into the show, get into the broadcast, these tariffs that Trump has put forth. Let me explain something to you. Just heard today that the tariff on seafood is already causing layoffs in the state of Maine because a lot of the restaurants buy Chinese lobster. Now, I don't know why they do that. I don't know if there must be more lobsters. Usually, let me tell you something. Let me say this here, black people. You better check where you get your food from. Okay? Because when I said, why are they buying Chinese lobsters when we got all kind of fishing boats out here fishing off the coast of Alaska and other places? Why are we buying lobster from China? Other than the fact that they're probably dirt cheap. That's one of the only reasons why we probably are buying it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to eat any fish from China. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But they say they're laying off people up there. Now, you know, up in the state of Maine, there ain't nothing but Caucasian people up there. Okay? I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just being honest. There ain't a whole lot of brothers up there in Maine. So if they're laying off people, then these people are probably Caucasian people, which is not good. That's not good. Because when you got to understand how economics work in America. If Caucasian people sneeze, we catch the flu. Okay? Basically, what I'm saying is, if something affects them, it's going to be 10 times worse for us. Now, this is just the seafood industry. A lot of these industries that he's putting tariffs on, a lot of these industries do not employ a lot of us. Let me explain something to you, people. Donald Trump is going to put more Caucasians out of work than any other president. And all the people who voted for him have to blame is themselves. Because there is no way that a rich billionaire is going to look out for the mayonnaise militia, aka trailer park Caucasian people. Because these are the people who work those jobs. Trailer park Caucasians and maybe working class blue collar Caucasians. They are going to be the ones who are going to be adversely affected by Trump's policies. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you thought we had a bunch of shootings, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's going to be way more shootings, black folks. There's going to be way more shootings coming. I'm not saying that to try to, scare people. I'm just being honest with you. It's coming. If you thought Vegas was bad, if you thought these school shootings were bad, mark my word, in the next coming months, there's going to be another slaughter of innocent people. Because here's the way these people think. They never go after the people who affect them. They never go after the people who are responsible for their economic demise. They never go after those people. You know who they're going to jump on? They're going to jump on black people. Now, in the case of some of these guys, they may go and shoot up another school. But I'm telling you right now, Black folks, you need to be aware of your surroundings, because I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some more mass shootings, because these people are getting the rug pulled out from under them, and Trump ain't even been in there 2 years. He's already he's put, I don't know how many Caucasian people, blue collar, out of work already. And those new tax codes, that new tax, so-called tax reform, he didn't even need to do. Made it so working people, instead of being able to write things like you used to be able to write your, like, I know if you live in LA, if you live in like LA County, if you live in LA, you probably pay municipal taxes if you live in LA proper. I don't know about outside of LA proper. I'm not sure. But I know for a fact you get charged city taxes if you live in LA. I know because I paid them back in the day. Then you get in, you pay California income tax. Well, what you used to be able to do is write those taxes off on your federal return. Now you can't write that off. That's probably going to cost the average working family a couple $100. Now, to a single guy like me with no dependents, no big deal. But to somebody, those of you who have families, those of you who are, money is kind of tight, $200 is, or even $100 is a lot of money to you. But the people who voted for Trump, all of these blue collar and poor Caucasian people, you did it to yourselves, man. Don't blame nobody for, don't jump on Black people. Don't jump on these Hispanic people. It ain't their fault that you were dumb enough to vote for Trump and think he gonna look out for you. That's what you get. That's what you get. And it's gonna get worse. And I'm gonna tell you right now, these rich white folks, they gonna vote for Trump. Trump gonna do a second term. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna wreck this country way worse than George W. Bush didn't wreck this country. It was Bill Clinton that wrecked this country. Because the policies that Bill Clinton pushed through Congress are the policies that destroyed our economy in 2007, 8, 9. And some of you guys lost your houses. I know people that lost their houses that shouldn't have never lost their houses. My father lost his house. But mainly because he did it to himself. He did it to himself. He went out there trying to high side and try to make people think he had some money, trying to impress a woman he already had. That's what happens. Go out, buy an $800,000 house and you end up losing it. That's on you, dog. I thought you was a smart one. But those folks those blue collar folks and those poor folks that voted for Trump, and now Trump is giving it to you with no Vaseline, brought it on yourself, dog. Brought it on yourself. In other news, what we're talking about tonight is, are you your woman's psychologist? Are you your woman's psychologist? A lot of cats get in, especially black men. A lot of brothers get into these relationships with these women, especially black women. And a lot of these black women got daddy issues. I'm just going to say it straight up. A lot of these black women have straight up daddy issues and insecurity issues because they didn't grow up with a father in the home. And instead of dealing with that issue, they grow up thinking that men owe them, especially black men. They don't hold Caucasian men to no kind of standard, but they'll try to hold black men to a higher standard. So you get these black, because I married one. That's why I'm not married. Okay, I married a black woman didn't know her daddy. Okay, and had I known what I know now, then I wouldn't have never even dated that sorry broad. Okay, I wouldn't have never married her because most of the women in her family are bums, with the exception of a couple. Her mama's a bum, been married 6-7 times. Her grandmother is a bum. Her husband left her. People don't get up and leave if you the bomb bitch. Okay? Let's get something straight, ladies. Men don't leave you if you all that. And I ain't talking about vagina. If you are all that, your man ain't going nowhere. He gonna be right there sitting next to you. But when you ain't got shit to offer, men leave. I know, because I done left plenty of women since I've been divorced. Who, like I said, I know my worth. So I ain't gonna be in no fucked up situation with no female. And now that I'm doing very well financially, and you know, I'm trying to do things out here, handle my business. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't deal with bum broads. If you even give me the inclination that you a bum ass broad, I'm out. I bounce. I ain't even gonna waste my time with you, because you ain't worth it. But I'm worth it. And that's why I try to explain to American men, you need to get your confidence up. Because a lot of men feel, especially black men, a lot of American men feel they have to put up with American women. They feel they ain't got no choice but to put up with them. And you got a choice. You have a choice, bruh. You have a choice. First of all, you can get up off your dead ass, stop playing, and go get your passport and get out of this country. Because American women have priced their vaginas out of the market. They got too many kids by other men. And then they have the nerve to think you're going to sit around and put up with a whole bunch of bullshit to get next to them. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious to me. It ain't that serious, dude. I'm in my mid-50s. I ain't tripping off no ass. I done had plenty of ass. I ain't got to sit up. I ain't got to run up. I don't run after women. Real players get chose. I get chose. I don't chase. If you chasing, you doing something wrong, homie. I guarantee you didn't grow up with your father. And I'm gonna get into what happens to get it. I ain't gonna get into it on this show, on this broadcast, but there's something that happens to men who don't grow up with their fathers also, in how they function. But we dealing with women today, since most of the people that check with me, check for me, are males. Okay. By the way, go by asktheiceman.com. Go by asktheiceman.com. That's my website. Go over there and check things out. You digs? Let me put the link in here. But school's in, y'all. Let's go ahead and get it popping. Now, so when we get with these women, see, I'm putting my my mental health hat on. Matter of fact, let me get my DSM-5 real quick because there's something I wanted to look up in there. No, maybe I'll wait till I'll do another show on that because that's dealing with mental health. So I'll just deal with that at another time. But so a lot. Have you ever met a woman and she expects you to help her work through all her old bullshit, all her old mental problems, all her mental disorders, and all of that shit? Her daddy issues. You gotta help me be. You know, she don't trust nothing you say. You get up, y'all watching a movie at your crib, and you get up and go to the bathroom, and by the time you get back, she tell me, "Where were you? Where were you? You've been cheating on me, you son of a bitch." And you like, "Bitch, I just went to the bathroom. What the fuck you talking about?" Now, obviously, most of these women ain't that bad, but some of them are. Because my ex-wife was real insecure like that, especially when I was still in the military. Okay. Most of these, let me say this before I move on. Here's how you know you're dealing with an insecure woman. Most American women are insecure. Most of them. Women who tend to have a real strong racial culture, like if they are very immersed in their culture, like say if they're Vietnamese or they're Chinese or like, and they mainly only deal with their own people, they're not as insecure. But most Caucasian women are insecure, and definitely most Black women are insecure. And here's how you know you're dealing with an insecure woman. Not just her saying, "Hey, I've been hurt." Don't ever listen to that bullshit about when they say I've been hurt, that's a ruse. Don't ever listen to that. Whenever you meet a woman and the first things that come out of her mouth was, "I've been hurt, and my heart is tender," she's trying to run a ruse on you, dog. Because 10 times out of 10, that's the woman who is out here passing diseases to men and dogging men out. Okay? They're the ones doing what they say men have done to her. Never listen to that shit. If she starts talking that shit, hey, look, if you getting ready to smash, hit it and be out. Don't try to have no relationship with a broken person like that. Something's wrong with that person if they start off trying to get sympathy. And I even in this book, I talk about you never enter into a relationship with a woman based on sympathy, because that's a ruse. And soon as you start feeling sorry for her, that's when she stab you in the back and turn that knife. Because 9 times out of 10, she's starting to ask for money. She's a Calamity Jane, and she's going to start asking for money. Like we say in the Black community, we call it the po mouth. Man, she gave me the po mouth. When a woman start asking for money, Not a good sign, dude. That usually they ghetto when they do that. Usually ghetto woman, ghetto, Caucasian, Hispanic, and black women and Asian women do that. Because if you think only black women do that, you're a fool. You ain't dated enough women, dog. All of them got the pole mouth. All of them will ask you for money, especially if they low income. And they'll try to tell you that, hey, that's the cost of doing business. You ain't even got no ass yet, and this bitch is up here asking you for money. Whenever they start asking, they hit me with the pole mouth, dude, I bounce. I've had women tell me, hey, I ain't gonna give you no ass till you pay my rent. I tell you what, why don't you hold that thought, bitch? I'll be right back with that money order. Some of them bitches been waiting over 10 years for me to come back. You get nothing. The only thing you get from me is hard dick and bubble gum. That's all you get from me. You'll never give a woman who ain't your wife and you don't have children with money. If money is changing hands, you are a simp. You are a simp, and you're a trick. You dig? You don't give no woman no money, dog. That's player 101. I don't give women money. And when they ask for it, I don't even respond. I don't even respond. That don't even dignify a response from me. Asking me for some goddamn money. There's so many old broke ass hoes out here with the pole mouth. I got 6 kids. Good for you, bitch. I hope you can feed them motherfuckers. Because I ain't feeding them. My kids hungry. You better go down there and get that EBT card, bitch. Because I ain't finna give you shit. But some of you niggas be giving these women money. Good luck with that, dog. Glad you got disposable and discretionary income to give women. Good for you. I guarantee you'll run out of money before she run out of pussy. But women expect us to, especially these black women, they expect us to be their psychologists. Look, I got trained to be a psychotherapist. I have a master's degree in that shit. Okay? I also have an MBA too, but I'm not going to do psychotherapy for somebody unless they pay me. So I don't do free. I don't do pro bono work. Not for no woman, not for some old broad. No. I don't do pro bono work for some old broad. And I would never do work. I would never work with a woman that I was potentially trying to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I would never compromise myself career-wise like that. I would never do that. I tell women straight up. I'll be like, if I'm gonna date you, then I'm not gonna do any life coaching or anything else with you. Well, we can't do anything professionally. And just like if we do something professional, I cannot date you. That's just something you don't do. I don't shit where I eat. I draw the line. Anyway, you are not under any obligation to help a woman work through her problems that her mama helped create for her by not making sure she had a father in the house. I remember somebody sent me a meme that was funny as hell, but it was also cold as hell. And it had a white dude with his arm around this black chick, and it said, the reason why I date black women is because I don't have to worry about meeting their fathers. Man, that shit had me laughing, but I said, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. That's messed up, man. Look, man. Look. Guys, look, man. Women set the tone on a lot of stuff, people. So when you hear these women talking this shit about, oh, my kid's dad didn't want to be in their life, you know it's a lie. See, a lot of women don't want to admit that they were just fucking this dude. Probably they were high and drunk when they did it, and they ended up making a baby because this dumbass broad wasn't on birth control, and she didn't make sure this guy wore a hat on his soldier. That's just total irresponsibility. When I meet these women that got all these kids, I don't care if she still do look fine. I could care less. I'm gonna hit it and I'm gonna be out. And if they call themselves talking about, well, I got to get some money first, I got to get that bag first, I delete that bitch's number out my phone. I don't even waste my time. I don't waste my time dealing with pole mouth broads. But they're out there. And some of them got degrees. College degree don't mean nothing, dog. It's a lot of starving women out here with college degrees. That having a degree don't mean shit. It used to be having a college degree meant automatic ascension into middle class. That was 30 years ago. Today, you can get a degree from anywhere. Hell, you can go down to Tijuana. You can go down to Mexico and get a degree. Hell, Sancho and them, you pay them $100, they'll make you a degree. You got all these schools out here offering college degrees. When I got my bachelor's degree in the mid-90s, it was a rarity to have a degree. Today, you can go to any for-profit college. As long as you go there long enough and pay that money, you'll get a degree. They'll pass you. They'll pass you. You go to University of Phoenix, they'll pass you. You go to DeVry, they'll pass you. You go to ITT, they'll pass you. Now, your degree won't be worth shit, but at least, you'll have a degree. College degrees don't mean shit anymore. Even for Caucasian people, college degrees don't mean shit. And I got 2 master's degrees and a bachelor's degree. Trust me, my degrees ain't worth shit. Okay? The only time they come, they are of use to me. When my bachelor's degree is kind of I guess all of them, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, my degrees help me run my business because I draw on those skills that I built, especially on the graduate level. My MBA, I use that accounting, I use the finance part of it, I use the marketing part of it, I use the research part of it, I use the business modeling part of it. I don't use the calculus part, but the modeling I can use. Now, obviously, my second master's, that I really need that because, life coaching is not necessarily, it's not psychotherapy because you're not diagnosing people. Although I know how to diagnose, I know how to run a diagnostic. I know how to do a diagnostic on somebody to find out what's wrong with them. So I know how to do everything. I just don't need to do it with life coaching because we're not dealing with, if they got some type of mental disorder that I can't work with, then I suggest I refer them to somebody that has that background and that education. Y'all see where I'm going with this? But you look, if you're in a marriage with somebody, even then, you are under no obligation to help this woman through her mental disorders. That you're not, look, let me explain something to you. First of all, let me say this to black men. You are not a mental health professional. You're this woman's boyfriend or husband or fuck buddy. You are under you have no business trying to help this woman through her daddy issues. That's you, because look, let me tell you something, because I'm gonna start getting mad. Let me tell you something. You tell that woman, you go get your Blue Cross Blue Shield card and get off her dead ass and go call that 800 number and have her ass to be referred to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. If you feel this woman really got some major issues that she's dealing with, tell her, look, you need to go get a psychiatrist, somebody that can diagnose you and put you on some medications. Because some people need to be on meds, dog. I ain't even go front. Some people need. You don't owe that woman a damn thing, because the people who actually owe her mother and father, they don't give two flying shits about this woman's mental health. Because you got a lot of dumbass, immature men and women knocking each other up and sending these kids out here butt naked, figuratively, not prepared to exist in a white supremacist, racist, evil, demonic society. As a black man or woman, you need all the help you can get. You need all the training. You need all hands on deck with a black child. Because, and this pisses me off, because you got a lot of black men and women who the way they raise their children is the way that you handle a pet. Black people have this bad, because I know my parents did this shit. Let me explain something to you. Black people have a habit of raising their children the way you take care of a pet. Let me give you 4 walls and a ceiling. Let me give you a couple of rags to throw on your back. Let me give you let me give you some butter beans and cornbread to eat. But I'm not going to raise you emotionally. I'm not going to provide that emotional component that you're going to need in order for you not to be insecure. When a child grows up in a home that is not loving and nurturing from both parents, that man and or woman is going to be an insecure person who is going to take that and emotionally, they're going to be stagnant. Listen to me now. They're going to be emotionally stagnant. Let me show y'all a book. Had to go on Amazon and buy this book because this book right here, this is the 6th revision. When I was in my last master's program, I had the 5th. For some reason, I don't know what I was thinking. I sold this book back to the school, back to the University of Texas. And I should have kept it. I should have kept it. So I had to buy it. You know, I got it. This is like $30, $35. And this book is called Development Through the Lifespan. And basically, this is a if you're at the master's level, you might even have had this book as a senior in psychology at the university level, at the undergraduate level. But for sure, at the master's and PhD level, you're going to have this book. And if you're not, I'm wondering why. Because this is an excellent book. And it deals with psychology, but what it mainly deals with is emotional development, which is separate. Let me explain. Let me say this to y'all real quick. Mental health, this is right. Mental health, this is mental health. This is your emotional health. They run parallel, but sometimes they run on the same course. Your emotional development, and let me see, because Erickson, this book deals with a lot of Erickson's theories. Erickson is probably one of the only European theorists that really had a lot of human development on point. I'm not a fan of Freud. Freud was a pervert, and he was a weirdo. And his wife and his daughter, actually, their theories were far more profound than his. His wife was a badass, but they don't talk a lot about her theories. But she had a lot of great theories that made sense, unlike her husband. And they talk about the emotional development. And I might not be able to find it in enough time because I don't want to be holding people up, because I want to get on here, because I ain't trying to be up all night. And I know some of y'all are 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. So, but anyway, this book, okay, emotionally, I'm just going to run you through it real quick. And I know I'm going to get some of the concepts wrong, but because, you know, I haven't looked at the book in a minute, because when I'm writing my book, The Dating Bible, the book that I'm writing right now, it's going to be a lot like a textbook for dating, because I'm citing a lot of stuff in there. This ain't going to just be a book that I'm writing off the dome. That's why it's taking me so long. Although I've wasted a lot of time too, because sometimes I just be bullshitting and I don't write. I might go 3 or 4 months without writing, and I can't do that because I got too many. Now, see what I do on live stream. See, this is totally different. This is something I just started doing maybe a month ago. I have a weekly podcast on Tuesday afternoons, Tuesday evenings. I usually go do my live stream podcast with my, the people I've been doing the Iceman show with for the past 8 years. Some of these guys have been rocking with me 7 to 8 years. So these guys, if I ask for donations for my nonprofit, they kick in. Okay, they kick in. They don't bullshit. They're not freeloaders. Some of them are, but I have thousands of subscribers. And by the way, my channel on YouTube is Mad Voodoo Man. So go over there and look at some of my old podcasts. But I do a show. I usually go on about 5:30 p.m. Sometimes I do a double. I do a double podcast where I'm on both platforms at the same time. And then I do a show. I do a broadcast on Saturday afternoon about 1 or 2 p.m. Usually between about noon and about 2 or 3 o'clock, we go on the air. So if you want to join us, let me put my my channel on there. My YouTube channel is Mad Voodoo Man and the Ice Man Unchained. Those are my 2 channels on YouTube. But my main channel is the Mad Voodoo Man channel. So go over there and subscribe to my channel so you can be in the know. That way you'll get email notifications letting you know when we're on the air. You digs? As a matter of fact, let me get a little water real quick. Man, this humidity ain't no joke, man. I don't know how it is around the rest of the country, but man, because before I went and walked in the evening after I ate dinner, man, it started raining. I said, damn, man. Then I went back in the house and it stopped. So then I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and get my walk in. So I ran a little bit and walked so I can get rid of this food. But emotional development, when you're an infant, you have a stage. When you're toddler, from toddler stage, from about one years old to about 3, that's a stage. Then 4 to 5 to about 6 is a stage. I like I said, I know I'm probably getting this I'm probably off a little bit, but just to give you an overview of what I'm trying to explain. I try to do that because some people don't understand. When I start talking about mental health stuff, they're like, hey, Ice, I don't understand what you're talking about, man. I don't understand. What is this you talking about? So, and then you got your preteen years, you got pubescent, pre-puberty. Then you got your puberty. And then you got the adolescent. Then you got your post-adolescent stage, emotional stage, which is usually from about 17 to about 19 or 20. Then you have your young adult stage. So as you can see, every 4 to 5 years, every 3 to 4 to 5 years, you move up to another stage. Y'all see where I'm going with this? And so if trauma happens during childhood or early, or early adulthood, what ends up happening is you usually stop. Like if you get raped or you get, maybe somebody died, a major figure in, like a parent died, like while you were in high school, something happened. You notice with some people, like say a parent passed away and that person was doing really good in high school as far as grades and activities and sports. And then when that parent passed away, or that grandparent they were really close to passed away, or maybe, girlfriend or boyfriend got killed, all of a sudden they just go like, their lives just go like this. It just goes south. That's what I'm talking about. They get stuck right where that trauma happened. That's where their emotional development stops. So if they're 16, 17 years old, say they're 8 or 9 years old, their emotional development's going to stop there. And the only way it's going to pick up again and start progressing is if that parent or parents or guardians get that kid in to see a child psychologist or a child psychiatrist. Okay? Black people, listen to me. Stop taking mental health for granted. Let me say that again. Stop taking the mental health of your children for granted. Children need more than just food, water, and a place to lay their head and a bathroom to go wash their ass. You think that we would know better. You think we'd know better. Children need their parents, both of them. And if you can't give them the hugs and tell them that you love them, they're going to go out in the street and try to get that from these assholes out here. So if you wonder why your son wants to hang around drug dealers as soon as he start getting a little hair on his nuts, or your daughter start hanging around these fast ass girls that are smoking and giving up that ass. Your daughter 13 years old, but yet you letting her go out on a date with a 25-year-old man. Fuck out of here, man. So you got grown women out here, and I'm not saying every woman has had a traumatic experience, because a lot of women will lie to get sympathy, because we have a lot of attention whore women out here that want attention and sympathy. That's why, you know, you hear from these Caucasian women, oh, postpartum depression. There's no such thing as postpartum depression. I don't give a damn if it is in the DSM-5. I could give a damn. I have never diagnosed anybody with postpartum depression, because as far as I'm concerned, it's a lie. It's a feminist lie. Yeah, I said it. And you know why it's bullshit? Because let me explain something to you. Women get used to attention when they're pregnant. And when they have that baby, there's no more adulation. So what do these women do? They get depressed, because ain't nobody kissing their ass no more. Ain't nobody opening doors for their ass no more. Y'all see where I'm going with this? See, that's how you know you're getting a lot of Caucasian feminist bullshit. And a lot of black women are buying into a lot of this stuff. A lot of black women buy into this stuff because they want to be, you know, a lot of black women aspire to be a Caucasian woman. A lot of them want to be a Caucasian woman. So they copy everything Caucasian women do. And when you do that, you're going to also get their problems. You're going to take on their problems. So whatever problems that affects them, they're going to now affect you, since you want to be one of them. So whatever, that's why you see these black men out here with walking around. You got 50 and 60-year-old black men walking around with bone white tennis shoes on and a jersey. First of all, I would never wear a jersey that another. I would never wear. I would never wear a jersey. First of all, that's the first thing. I would never wear a jersey that got another man's name on the back of it. Okay, that's something I have never been interested in doing. And you got black men my age worrying about their white tennis shoes. That's a sign of immaturity. You're more worried about tennis shoes. Something is wrong. That means that guy emotionally, he might have the emotional function. He might be 50 years old, but he has the emotional functioning of a teenager. Because if he didn't grow up with it, that's why I say that's a good way for me to seg into this. That's why when these women sitting up here talking about, oh, I could be the mama and the father. My mama was my mother and the father. When you hear that's ignorant talk. Children get different skill sets from each parent. The mother provides nurturing, support. The father provides discipline and teaching of life skills. That's why you notice white males, they'll take their sons and their daughters out to hunt. It's not just about hunting. It's about being able to handle that weapon. Okay? Or they take their kids fishing. Black children don't get that kind of exposure, that one-on-one time with father, because black women don't think it's important that because they didn't grow up with their fathers, why should you grow up with yours? Why should you see your daddy every week? Why should you see your daddy every day? I would go show up at my children's school even on days that I wasn't picking them up, just to so they saw my face. And my ex-wife tried to stop that. See how you black women do? What are you doing here? I said, hey, I can't come see my kids? You'll never see me at, you'll never, hey, let me tell you something, man. I ain't totally gave up on black women, but I'm going to tell you right now, when I hear black men, I'm hearing black men as young as 16, 17, 18 years old complaining about how bad these black women are out here. That used to never happen. That's what happens when there's no men in the house, because a man puts a stop to shit. If a man is in the home with his daughters, you can best believe ain't no dude's gonna be spending the night at the house. Let me tell you something. I've seen it where 16, 17-year-old girls are going in and out of the house with 30-year-old men. And the mama is just sitting there like, who are you? Oh, you know, y'all be smoking in their bedroom. I'm just like, and if you think this is just black women, you're mistaken, because I saw this in Minnesota when I lived up there. And let me tell you something. You think no black women get a bad reputation on a lot of stuff. That's their fault. But I'm gonna tell you right now, what the media doesn't show is all these hood rat Caucasian women that are out here who live the same kind of roach and rat lifestyle. Okay? See, when a woman grows up in a home with a father, she ain't gonna subject her kids to that kind of shit. She ain't gonna sit up there looking for ass kissing simps. She ain't gonna be out here looking for Captain Save-A-Hoes. See, black women like my ex-wife, they're just happy to get any pair of pants. Just as long as he's kissing ass. But if you ain't a black man who's out here blowing his retirement or blowing your kids' inheritance on vagina, most of these black women don't want you. And even though they got their own money, even if they're college educated and they got their own money, they still want you to blow your money on them. I remember when I was in college, when I was a freshman, I used to go to this school down south. And at the time, I wasn't an alpha. At the time, I wasn't an alpha. And my brother was. And there was this frat brother of our, well, now I'm an alpha, but you know, there was this cat named Sam. And they used to clown him. They used to call him Wine and Dine. And I was like, why y'all be calling him Wine and Dine? They said, oh man, that nigga be taking these bras out to these restaurants, man. He be whining and that because black men didn't do that back then. Black men didn't do that shit back then. It might have been one or two brothers that might have done that lame ass shit. Most black men did not do that. If they took a woman out, it was because they wanted to. And back then, women, if you took a woman out, 9 times out of 10, she wanted to be your girlfriend. Because I remember before I got married, when I was like 18, 19, 20 years old in college, I always had girlfriends. But there's so many lying, polyamorous women out here. As soon as I detect that this woman is a liar, because I'm going to do a show on the psychology of women lying. Oh, I got to do that show. I might do that Sunday. But I don't know if I'm going to do that show on here because I don't think y'all can handle it. See, I get tired of meeting liars because I'm a pretty, look, let me tell you something. Everybody lies for survival. But when I'm sitting up here trying to date you, be honest, man. Be honest. That's why I don't do online dating. That's why I don't do online dating. Because you got women, especially you got all these women on there, no matter what race they are. They put all these pictures on there from high school. You're 50 years old and you got a picture that I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, damn, you used to be fine back then. And you could tell that the picture has been scanned and photoshopped. Well, not photoshopped. There's been a scan. They scanned it on a scanner. So you know it's an old ass picture. And you know, you got women on there 50 years old that's going to put a picture on there when they were 30. And the first thing I say is, well, you think I'm dumb enough? Do you really think I'm dumb enough not to see that you must have took that picture when you were 25 and now you're 45? Get the fuck out of here. You must be used to dealing with these clowns. You used to dealing with clowns because let me tell you something. See, back in my day, thought I would never say that. But back in my day, a woman had to earn your love and respect. Today, these women want to show up and get put on and be wifey without doing anything. And it doesn't help that morons like Steve Harvey have these books out here telling that go against all psychological and psychiatric thought. because it doesn't allow for psychopathology. This fool is out here writing these irresponsible ass books, telling women to hold they draws for 60 to 90 days. That's not, look, let me tell you something. First of all, 90% of the men out here will listen to that and be like, man, you better get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's the first thing they gonna say. You need to get way the fuck out of here with that. Look, let me tell you something. I tell the guys on my podcast, y'all know, some of y'all probably listening. Let me tell you something. My listeners, they know what I say. I have a 7 to 10. It depends on who it is. I have a 3 to 5 day. At the long end, 7 to 10 days. On the average, I give a woman 7 days. That includes business days. Because I had a woman ask me, did I include business days? Okay? Because I told her what it was. Because women, some women will ask me, they say, let me ask you something. What's your cutoff in bumping uglies with a woman? And I said, she said, well, let me ask you this. Where do you think I would have fell in line? And I said, well, we ended up doing something on the 3rd day. So I said it usually falls between 3 to 5 days. We usually consummate. Okay. She was like, okay, so I was about average. I said, yeah. I said, actually, you're leaning toward the leaning away from average. Okay. And I said, normally, if you really want to get a statistical average, it usually happens between 4 to 6 days. I had to revive the 7 to 10 day thing because sometimes, there was a couple of times I was dating women that had to go out of town for work, or maybe we didn't live in the same city. So, especially if we had to live like 100 miles away or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to do road trips. I had women in almost every city. At one time when I was living in Minneapolis, dog, I had women in the Twin Cities. I had women in Des Moines, Iowa. It was all these cities down I-35. I had women in I think might have had some women in Dallas. I had a woman in Kansas City, because that's right off of 35. I had a woman in Kansas City. I think I didn't have nobody in St. Louis, because I don't want to talk to nobody in St. Louis, ragged as that damn place is. I don't want nothing from them. Maybe stop and get some barbecue. I'm just sleepy. Okay. I 3 to 5 days, it usually goes down. And they said, well, what's your criteria of how does your theory play into this? I said, look, every woman wants to have sex with a man or some men. And the same goes for a man. If you are interested in me and you're choosing me, then I'm going to put you in a position where you're going to be comfortable enough for them panties to drop to the ground. Okay, I'm going to put you in a very comfortable position where I can spit and tell you what I'm talking, tell you what I'm feeling. And I'm gonna set the tone, you know. I'm gonna put on a little Luther. I'm gonna do what I need. Maybe I'll pull out one of my songs, play one of my slow songs, you know, and that I have on CD. And maybe I'll play one of those. And I play one of those for you, because that really get them when I play my own music. They be like, "Who was that?" I said, "That's me." They're like, "Get out of here. That ain't you." Then I show them the CD, see my name all over. They're like, "Wow, I didn't know you sung, man. I didn't know you did all that." Like, yeah, it's all good, bro. I have many talents, many talents. Anyway, I try to make it. I try to make it pop by seventh day. It very seldom has it gone to 5 days. I mean, to 7 to. Very seldom has it gone to 10 days. The only time it's gone to 10 days is if the woman had to, if she had to travel out of town for work. Then we didn't pick things up until she got back. So if she's gone 4 days, we just stop right there until the 4 days is up and we get back into communication with each other. Y'all see how that works? And this way they understand that, hey, I'm all business. You know, guys, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be mean. Dating is no fun. Dating and online dating is worse. Online dating is a waste for Black men and women. Black women do horribly on online dating. Black men get some interest, but these women are usually looking for a dine and dash opportunity. Okay? They're looking for a dine and dash opportunity. They're not interested in you. They know Black men ain't doing too well out here dating wise. So what these Caucasian women do is they prey on these Black men, and they'll say, "Hey, let's meet at this restaurant. Hey, let's meet at Pittsburgh Blue. Let's meet at Ruth's Chris. Let's meet at Morton's the Steakhouse." Okay. I'll be like, "Yeah, let's meet there." Okay? Because y'all know what I got coming. Y'all know I'm about to say some shit. Y'all know I'm about to say some shit. Okay? And let me get my cigar, man. Yeah, my cigar. Yes, sir. Get my cigar. Nice little puff, little puff pass going here. Smoke a little cigar to calm a brother down. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. This is I gotta put my eyes on. Shit. Let's see here. This is a J's. I think it's a Cuban. I think it's a Cuban. I get mainly Cuban cigars and Honduras, and a lot of people don't like Cubans. They say they're too robust, but I actually like Dominican cigars. When I went over there to Santo Domingo, this guy took me to cigar rolling shop. They rolled me up a couple real tight. I mean, they were real tight. So they're smaller than this. They were kind of lean. They were kind of lean. Now they don't look like Swisher Sweets, but you know, it was a long kind of. It was kind of it was kind of wide. It kind of had a pretty good circumference. It wasn't a real big cigar like this. Funny thing about them, they're actually not that expensive if you find the right place. I got these from a place on the west side, over there on the west side of San Antonio, where me and my uncle live at. These are the only guys I go to when I'm in San Antonio. I don't go to none of them other people. I don't know none of them other people. But they real friendly in there. Wait a minute. Well, all right then. But this is something that must be addressed. We need to put more work into strategizing and raising kids than we do buying cars. When we buy a car, we want to know the horsepower. We want to know how many cylinders it has in it. We want to know, can it go up hills? Is it a stick shift? Is it a manual transmission? Is it automatic? What kind of gas mileage does it get? What kind of warranty am I getting with this car? We're talking about buying a new car. Let's listen to all the questions people ask about a car. Now think about the amount of strategy and planning that went into you having your children. I'll wait. Waiting. It is obvious that we put more effort into buying a car than we do having a child with somebody we don't know. Sad. I think integration has done a job on the Black community, but not just integration, where we went from feeding ourselves and working for ourselves, although there were jobs that Black folks get that didn't pay nothing. For the most part, we were on our own. And we had to create businesses so we can do business with other Black people. Y'all see what I'm talking about? So that, and when we accepted integration, instead of continuing to be that Black entrepreneur that did business with his own people so that he can have a community and not a neighborhood, which is what we got now. Now we have what we have today, which is the hood, from sea to shining sea. We have that, unfortunate. But guys, you are under no obligation to be your woman's psychologist. You are not trained to do that. You can be considered a help, but when you talk about help, this is like you saying, baby, I think you need to go exercise your medical benefits with Blue Cross Blue Shield or whoever, Provident, or whoever you do, where you got your benefits. You need to go see your primary care doctor and tell them that, hey, I'm dealing with some trauma that I experienced as a child, and I need to talk to a mental health professional. I need to talk to a clinician. And they'll set you up with a psychologist first. And then when he or she talks to you, if they feel that you need to be on medication, then they're going to refer you to a psychiatrist so that he or she can put your ass on meds. And let me say this to women. Dumping, in mental health, we call dumping. We call this dumping. Ladies, stop dumping your your emotional problems in the laps of men you either messing around with or that's your man. That's your date. That's some guy you dating. Stop doing that. Because a lot of times when you say we meet, we go out here and we meet women, and you say, well, I went out with this guy a couple of times and he just disappeared on me and things were going well. It's probably because of something like that. Okay. It's probably because of something like that. You've dumped something in his lap that he don't want to deal with, or he can smell it on the horizon. Ladies, if you want to have a healthy reciprocal relationship, you're going to have to deal with your mental health issues before you start dating. Because the older you get, now when you're young and fine, you might be able to get away with that shit. When you get older, like my age, in your 50s, good luck finding a man that's going to tolerate that. I guarantee you're not going to find too many dudes who going to carry that load. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the truth. Ain't too many men going to put up with that, ladies. I'm just being honest with you. Back to what I went out at the top of the broadcast, and I was talking about the tariffs and the seafood. How, do you guys know where your fish is coming from? Do you ever read the packaging, especially when it's frozen? Do you ever read that stuff? I do, because somebody put me up on game. How many of y'all eat tilapia? You might want to find out where they're getting it from before you eat it. I haven't eaten tilapia probably for about 6 years. When I lived in San Antonio, when I lived in Stank Antonio, I used to eat tilapia. I don't eat tilapia no more because one of my listeners said, "Hey man, you know where they're getting it from?" It said, "Have you ever seen on TV though?" Look on the, he said, next time you go to the store, look at the package. If it say farm raised, if it says farm raised and it says from Republic of Vietnam, or it says China, product of China, 9 times out of 10, you know, those people are so nasty. Those farms that we got over here are pretty clean with fish. Those fish farms overseas, not so much. They cut a lot of corners, and America does not do any regulating. So they said, this one guy was telling me how dirty and nasty and filthy that the water is that they got these fish in, that tilapia. That's why I don't eat tilapia no more. I don't eat that shit. And the only catfish I'll take home and fry is catfish that comes from catfish farms in the States. If it says another country on there, I won't buy it. I won't buy it. I won't buy it. So think about it when you go to the store and buy some of this frozen, because it's usually frozen like a rock. Because they freeze it like that for tuna too. Now I don't know if some farms they may be raising those lobsters, lobster farm, because I know you can do it. I don't think they grow as fast, because you have to understand, and I'm not trying to gross nobody out, but shrimp and lobsters are the roaches of the sea. Roaches, let me say that again. Shrimp and lobsters and other crustaceans, they usually feed on the waste products of other animals. And their job is to clean the bottom of the ocean, to keep it clean. So that's their food source, of eating whatever's on the bottom of the ocean. So in essence, they are a big ass roach. And so are those shrimp. Shrimp are bottom feeders too. So you might want to think about that the next time you get that shrimp salad, that shrimp cocktail. Okay? I mean, I eat them in. I don't eat that much lobster. I'm not a big lobster fan. I'm really not, man. I used to go to Sam's Club when I lived in Texas. I used to go to Sam's Club all the time and get those lobster tails. But they kind of creep me out. Cracking open that shell and pulling them out, it kind of freaks me out. That's a little traumatic for me, because I'm like, because they very seldom will any retailer take the meat part of the tail out of the shell. Normally they don't do that. I've never seen it's sold like that. Anyway, so I don't eat tilapia at all. I don't eat no tilapia. But I won't eat tuna, because I used to buy ahi tuna that was from that part of the country, that part of the world. I stopped buying that. If it says Vietnam or China on it or Taiwan, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. So just as a safety precaution, I'm telling you, I would stop eating tilapia unless it was farmed over here, which they're usually not. There might be some tilapia farms in the United States. I don't know of any. Because you got to read the package, people. I read the package. I say, hey, how much sugar is in this? Oh, I'm always checking. I'm always checking, player. Because I ain't finna get, I ain't gonna get sick. And if I do, I'm suing. Okay. Go to asktheiceman.com, y'all. Check out my website. I'm going to be doing a new website for my record company. Got to set that business up, and I just keep fiddle-faddling around and not getting that done. So that's got to get done. Got to go ahead and get my IN number from the IRS so I can go ahead and set that up. Ladies, gotta holler at you. We might not be friends after this, but we gotta have a conversation, ladies. Ladies. And I'm mainly talking to the college educated white collar women who are just so successful and they got so many degrees. They just, these men ain't good enough around me. I'm about to break that down. I get a lot of black men stepping to me. And I'm not saying now Caucasian women do it too. You have to understand these feminists, a lot of them are predators. Because what else would they be if you're trying to belittle somebody that you don't know well enough? Because that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. And you get these, let's just deal with black women for now, who be talking about, and they're talking to me, and they'll say, I just get tired of meeting these men who don't have any education, and they so intimidated by me. And I go, well, why are they intimidated by you? Oh, because I got so many degrees and I got a good career. Sometimes they ain't nothing but some old clerk. You got a bachelor's degree, but you a clerk at the library. That it don't even take nobody to have a bachelor's degree to do that. A lot again, and I noticed I used to just get this with men. I know because one of my brothers, he lies about what jobs he has. He's the guy, and I'm gonna use this as an example. If you ask my brother what he did for a living, he'd say, oh, well, I'm a sanitation engineer. When in actuality, he's a goddamn janitor in the drum. Now, that's not what he's doing. I'm just giving an example, a hypothetical example. Now, you expect men to lie about their jobs. I don't have to. I work for myself, so I don't have to lie. A lot of these women be lying about their jobs, man, trying to make them sound more prestige than they are. Now, guys, I'm gonna put these women straight, especially the women that do this type of shit. These women, if you notice, these women love to talk that shit to dusty niggas. Okay? Or to men that they think aren't college educated. Listen to me. They love to do this shit. I know because I had to clown several black women who tried to come at me with that I got a degree shit. I remember when this was a while back. I had met this black woman and she had a bachelor's degree from Auburn University. She wanted to talk, she wanted to spend all day long talking about how good Auburn University's football team was and all that old shit. I could give a damn. Okay. And she was just like, she was real fine. I give her that. Oh, she was banging. Oh yeah, the rack. Oh, the rack was on point. Okay. And the bootay, there was circumference. Okay. I could have put my drink on it. This is not my Hennessy glass, so it'll have to do. So I had to go whip out my Hennessy glass, the other broadcast that we had, so I could get my clown on. Okay. But anyway, she was banging. And she said, well, talking about? She was like, these guys are so intimidated by my job. Because I forgot what kind of job she had. She had some kind of coordinator job. It wasn't even a management position. You know, she worked for a hospital doing some type of business. She worked on the business side. And she was so I was like, okay, all right, cool. And she said, well, I get tired of meeting these guys are intimidated by my career and this and this and this. I didn't say nothing. I was real chill. I laid back in the cut. I was just like, okay, I was just listening to her. I let her talk. Okay. I let her talk. And she said, oh, so what do you do? What did she say? She said, she said, well, do you have a degree? And I kind of sat back. At first I got kind of taken aback. And I was like, is that important? She said, no, but I want somebody who has the same educational level as I have. And I tried to do everything I could not to answer. And she was like, well, when are you going to say so? When are you going to tell me what you got? I said, why don't you tell me more about these men being intimidated by your degree and your career? And she was like, oh, every time I meet these brothers, they'll never have no education and this, that, and the third. And I definitely wasn't dressed other than like workout clothes. No, take that back. I was dressed pretty nice. I had a polo shirt on and all that because there was somewhere else I had to go. And she said, so finally she kept asking me, and I said, yeah, I have a degree. She said, well, what is it? I said, my first one's a bachelor's degree. Oh, I said, you have more degrees? Or she said, what do you have? You have an AS degree or AA degree along with your bachelor's degree? I was like, no, I don't do 13th grade. So no, I don't have an AA degree. I said, I have a bachelor's degree and I have 2 master's degrees. And she looked at me. She was like, well, do you work at a university? I said, no. I said, I work for myself. And then when I told her what I did, she said, oh, I see. It makes sense. I said, I have 2 master's degrees. I don't walk around with it on my shirt. I don't have it on a t-shirt. And that really shut her up. And this happened before. That really shut her up from that really shut her up from talking about anything about degrees and all that. Okay, it did. After that, she said nothing else. Like she didn't say anything like that after that, because I shut it down. And when other women came at me like that, same thing happened. Oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. Well, you shouldn't assume that every black man you sit in front of doesn't have a college degree. Well, a lot of them don't though. Let me give you a quick statistic. It'll show you how good white supremacy is in this country. A white man with a felony on his record makes the same amount of money than a black man with a college degree and no criminal record. Did y'all know that? A white dude with a felony on his record, don't matter what it is. It could be for tickling somebody in their ass without permission, stealing, anything, domestic violence. A white man with a felony on his record and no high school diploma, that's what it was, and no high school diploma, makes more money on average than a black man with a college degree. Now, is that encouraging to you? So you have to understand, most white males in this country don't have college degrees, because what they do is they say, well, hey, to hell with going to finishing college. I could just go out here and start a company and make my own money. The hell I'm going to sit up here and go to college for? This is a waste of money. You can utilize your county library and become educated. If you want to learn how to fix air conditioners and heaters, HVAC, you can look at YouTube videos and learn. Believe it or not, you can. You want to learn how to fix a car, you can look at YouTube. Plenty of guys on there fixing cars. Y'all see where I'm going with this? With all this student loan debt that everybody is carrying around, and then you get out and can't find a job that pays enough money to provide the lifestyle you work so hard for. It's like, well, why go to college? People who go to college, I realize now, people who go to college are people who really don't understand the economy as we know it. They don't understand the economy. They don't. And they're too insecure to do their own thing. It takes a lot of balls to do your own thing, because you are the face of your company. And sometimes people don't want to pay you. Sometimes they don't want to pay you. And that's something you're going to have to deal with. Sometimes they're not going to want to pay you. You're going to be like, hey, man, I need my cash. I need the cash in my hand. But sometimes they think you're a one-woman operation or one-man operation. Sometimes they act a fool and don't want to pay because they think you ain't got the resources to take their ass to court. That's not a good way to function. But you notice these women that walk around here with their degrees on their sleeve and their jobs on their sleeve, you notice they only get in front of dusty niggas to talk that I got a degree shit. I can't find nobody that's on my education level. I remember I met some old tired ass sister, and she would start talking that shit, talking about this is before she even asked me what my educational level was. And she was like, oh, I can't find no black man that's educated. I can't find one that got a college degree and that. And I said, oh, by the way, I got 2. I got 3. She was like, oh. She shut up. I said to her, I said, let me explain something to you, lady. Does it make a difference that I have all these degrees? Apparently it did. Because we didn't end up dating. Because see, you have to understand, guys, all they want to do is be able to look down their nose at black men and say, see, that's that feminist predator mentality. Ooh, look at me. I can bust your balls because I have something you don't have. That's what that's about. That's childish behavior. By the way, that's childish behavior. That's childish behavior. Because it's not a means to an end. So it's childish behavior. A college degree, if you're just going to sit up here and work for somebody else, is a waste. If you want to get a degree and you think you really need to have one to run the kind of business you're starting, then go ahead and get your degree. Make sure you keep your costs down. Because that degree is going to help you run that business. See, when you get a degree and then you go out here and work for a company, how many of those skills do you think you're going to use on that job? Not many. Maybe if you're an accountant or you are, maybe if you're an accountant or some type of scientist, or you got to do some type of technical work that involves calculus or something like that, that's different. It's expected for you to have to use those skills. So you have to understand the industries in this country, they retool every 10 years and they refine every 10 years. And when they do that, that means they're more dependent on technology and less dependent on human interaction with those processes. That's what happened when we had that. That's what happened when we had that economic meltdown. You notice by 2009, 2010, the economy had changed. It had changed for the worse. And a lot of people who always had a job looked around and they didn't have a job. Y'all see where I'm going with this? And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. We're getting ready to have another great recession in the next 2 to 3 years. It's coming. I hope you got some paper in the bank, because a lot of black folks, especially black women, y'all spend every check y'all get. You go out there and spend all your money on shoes and clothes. And by the way, you're spending you're spending your retirement right now when you do that. You're also spending your children's inheritance and your grandchildren's inheritance when you go out here and worry more about your shoe game than investing your money. when you're worried about going on the Tom Joyner cruise every year, when you go and take that $5,000 out of your 401k, you think it's cute. But when you get ready to retire, and you're 59 years old, you look in your 401k and you ain't got nothing but 60,000 in there. How long you think that's going to last paying you retirement every month? That retirement's going to run out. It might last 4 or 5 years and that's it. What are you going to do after that? See, a lot of you women don't think about stuff like that. You think you're going to always have money, just like American women always think they're going to be young. They never see themselves getting old. And when they hit that wall, they try to act surprised. I didn't see that there. It was right in front of you. You didn't see that wall, lady? Most American women assume they'll never get old, just like a lot of people assume they'll never, they assume they assume that they'll always, they'll always be in a relationship. Or they'll always have somebody around, and then you turn around, you by yourself. And men can handle that a lot easier than women. A man can handle being solitary. Women cannot. That shit drives women crazy. That's why women always got to have all these bullshit friends, even though 99% of these women ain't their friend. It's just somebody to keep them busy. My friend. And I'm like, how many of these people are real friends? Just sound to me like they're just a bunch of women that try to keep each other company. Y'all seem like, that's what you call codependency. Codependency actually is a mental disorder. Most people with an ego are usually undercover insecure. Why? An ego is based off of you saying to yourself that you're the shit, even though there's no proof of it. Confidence is built from you mastering certain tasks. Y'all see where I'm going with this? No, I noticed when I was in the Air Force, you had Caucasian dudes who didn't know how to wash their clothes. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Didn't know how to make a bed. My mom made my bed. And I'm like, that sounded so foreign to me. Let me explain something to you. My mom taught me how to wash, how to fold clothes. I didn't think that was important until I started living on my own. Because some people don't even know how to do that. I've dated women who just take their clean clothes and throw it in another like clothes bin or something. And I'm like, you ain't gonna take them out and fold them so they don't wrinkle? Oh, I don't care about that. Like, oh. A lot more work when your clothes are wrinkled. When you get ready to, iron them, a lot more, they'd be a lot easier to iron if they were folded properly. But building skills over time, when you teach your kid to sweep and mop the floor, you teach them how to do it properly, and you encourage and you coach. You don't yell at them and call them all kind of names because they didn't get it the first time. That's not good reinforcement. Now they're going to hate you, and they're going to hate doing that. And they're not going to want to do it. But if you show them and you're nice about it, and you try to show them how to properly do it, yeah, they're going to make some mistakes, but they're going to build confidence. After a while, you're not going to have to tell them what to do. They'll just go in there and do it. Hey, son, did you sweep them up the floor? And if they didn't do it to your satisfaction, they say, hey, son, you missed this corner right here. This is all dirty in here. Get that mop and clean that up. Okay? If you're out there working on an old truck or something, have your son and daughter go out there and watch you do it. And maybe even have them help you do it so they know how to do it. I showed my daughter how to change a tire. I only had time to do it once. But I guarantee after that, she had an understanding on how to change a tire. When that situation comes up later in life, they're not going to freak out. They're going to be confident. Confidence is understanding what your worth is and understanding what you bring to the table and your mastering of certain skills. Some people are naturally confident. I'm naturally confident. I'm a naturally confident person because if I do something, I master it. And if I can't master it, I leave it alone. Like when it comes to music, if there's like this MPC X over here, I got a keyboard right here, but this MPC X is different from the one I used or my engineer let me use back in the 90s. That was the MPC 3000. This one is the MPC X. And this MPC X is no goddamn joke. I'm telling y'all. Let me see something here. Shit. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Because somebody had sent me something and was like, hey man, can you show it on the show or whatever? And I said, man, I could turn this. Yeah, that's it right there. I mean, that thing is you can damn near do a whole song on it, pretty much. Not even having to use other equipment. You can sample on there. You can do all kind of stuff. I mean, it's a beast. I mean, it's got so much stuff on there. I still haven't. I used to use my R8 rolling drum machine, program the programs on there, and then MIDI it up with this and run and use these 32-bit sounds out of here, because as you can hear, the sound is real powerful. You know, I don't have it turned up that loud. And this is a little keyboard speaker that I'm running it out of. So it ain't that loud. It sounds loud because this thing is so powerful. You can actually use this thing in concert. But you know, ladies, it ain't your degrees that intimidate these men. It ain't your career that intimidates these men. These men get turned off. They get turned off and they don't want to date you. It has nothing to do. Look, let me tell you something. Stop throwing your degrees and your job in the faces of dusty dudes. You pick soft targets, ladies. You pick soft targets. You know damn good and well Ray and Pookie ain't went nowhere near college. Hell, Ray and Pookie didn't even graduate from high school. You dig? And you all up in his face talking about where his degree. You know he didn't have no degree. Any man walk around calling himself Ray or Pookie, you know damn good and well he ain't got no degree. But you just want to be able to talk down to a man. Ladies, y'all gonna have to get off of that, man. That's a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of ego, which equals insecurity. Ego is not confidence. Ego is, I think I'm the shit. So therefore I'm the shit. That's what having an ego is. Y'all see where I'm going with this? All right, ladies and gentlemen, peep this here. We have a show. We have a show on tomorrow at we have a show at, I'm gonna try to be on at 5 p.m. I don't know if I'm gonna do a live stream on here and on YouTube. So you might want to go over to my channel on YouTube. I don't know what happened with that. Man, Voodoo Man channel. That's my channel on YouTube. My other channel, it's further up. You might want to scroll up. That's my channel on YouTube. Go by there and subscribe to my channel so you get email alerts when we do a show. We're doing a live stream Tuesdays and Saturdays. We'll probably start tomorrow about 5 p.m., 5:30. Saturday, we usually start between about noon to between noon and about 3 p.m. Okay? So go to YouTube, put me, find my channel, subscribe to become a subscriber to my channel. You can also buy a paid subscription to a monthly subscription to my show. You can either buy here's how I have it broken down. You can either buy a daily subscription, weekly, monthly, and annually. So whatever fits your budget, we got it. So go to asktheiceman.com for that. Here's my website. That's my website link right there. Also, before we go, if you haven't got my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, there's information on dating, jobs, the economy, white supremacy, and a lot of historical stuff that we need to know if you're gonna live in the Western Hemisphere. You dig? So get my book. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get an autographed paperback book like this one. You can get this on my website. Go to asktheiceman.com and they'll tell you what to do. Yeah, get my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get it at Amazon.com, or you can get it straight from me at my website at asktheiceman.com. And again, the name of the book is Ask the Iceman. The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. Okay, it's my new book, and currently I'm writing my second book called The Dating Bible. You digs? So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow on my YouTube podcast, my Tuesday podcast. We'll probably get started about 5:30 because I got a meeting earlier. I got a meeting down in the city, so I'm gonna be down there about 3 or 4 hours. So by the time I get to the house, it'll probably be about 3 or 4 o'clock. So yeah, definitely, we'll probably be starting about 5:30. But anyway, that's what's up. All right. You tune in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me today. If I might do a double live stream, so I might live stream on here later on in the week, probably like a Wednesday or Friday. So I usually just pop up and do it. Okay, I usually do pop-ups on here, but for my podcast, because that's how I make some of my money is on YouTube. Because like I said, I've been doing this show for 8 years. It didn't start off what I'm doing right now. It didn't start off that way, people. It just morphed into that. All right, you tune in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Holler at your boy. 213. Start off